You know what's riskier than a clogged sewer pipe? Not thinking about what might cause it in the first place. That's what risk-based thinking in ISO 9001:2015 is all about, using your noggin to spot potential problems before they hit you in the face. It's about being proactive, not reactive. See, in any job, whether you're a plumber, a welder, or running a factory, unexpected stuff happens. Materials are faulty, equipment breaks down, people make mistakes. Risk-based thinking is about anticipating those hiccups and figuring out ways to minimize their impact. It's like wearing safety goggles before using a grinder. You're not assuming something's going to fly into your eye, but you're prepared just in case. That's risk-based thinking in action. It's common sense, really. Now, some folks worry that this whole risk-based thinking throws the process approach out the window. Not true. It's more like we're adding another layer of thinking on top of it. Before, we focused on fixing problems after they occurred. We'd slap a band-aid on it and move on. Risk-based thinking says, hold on, let's figure out why that band-aid was needed in the first place. It's about understanding the processes that make your business tick and identifying potential weak spots. Where could things go wrong? What could cause a delay? What might disappoint a customer? By asking these tough questions, you're not ditching the process approach. You're making it stronger. You're moving from simply reacting to problems to proactively preventing them. Another misconception is that ISO 9001:2015 ditches preventive action altogether. That's like saying a plumber doesn't need a wrench. Preventive action is built into the very fabric of risk-based thinking. Think of it this way: identifying and addressing risks is the ultimate form of preventive action. By understanding what could go wrong, you're automatically taking steps to prevent it. It's no longer about reacting to a specific problem that already happened. It's about considering all potential problems and putting measures in place to make sure they never happen in the first place. Look, risk-based thinking isn't some fancy highfalutin concept. We do it every single day without even realizing it. Crossing the street, you look both ways for cars. Cooking dinner, you check that the stove is off before leaving the house. These are simple examples of risk-based thinking in action. You're identifying potential hazards, oncoming traffic, a house fire, and taking steps to mitigate the risk. Looking both ways, double-checking the stove. The same principle applies to your work. Whether you're operating machinery, designing a product, or dealing with customers, there are always risks involved. Risk-based thinking helps you navigate those risks and make smarter decisions. Section 5. Building a risk-proof house, ISO 9001:2015, and risk-based thinking. So how does risk-based thinking fit into the ISO 9001:2015 standard? Think of it as the foundation of a well-built house. It's integrated into every aspect of the structure, from understanding your context and the needs of interested parties, Clause 4, to to ensuring your leadership team is on board with risk-based thinking, Clause 5, it all starts with a solid understanding of potential risks and opportunities. You got a plan for how you'll address those risks? Clause 6, allocate resources effectively. Clause 7, and communicate those plans to your team. Clause 9. And of course, you need to evaluate how well your risk management is working and make adjustments as needed. Clause 10. Section 6. The payoff. Why risk-based thinking is worth the sweat. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds like a lot of work. And you're right, it does take effort. But trust me, the payoff is worth it. When you embrace risk-based thinking, you create a more resilient and adaptable business. You'll experience fewer surprises, less downtime, and fewer headaches. Your customers will notice the difference in the quality of your products and services. And let's be honest, who doesn't want a little less stress in their lives? By proactively addressing risks, you're creating a calmer, more controlled work environment. Section 7. Putting risk to work. Getting your hands dirty with implementation. So how do you actually implement risk-based thinking in your workplace? It's not as complicated as you might think. Start by having honest conversations with your team. What are the biggest risks we face? How can we prevent them? What opportunities are we missing out on by not taking calculated risks? Document your findings, develop a plan of action, and assign responsibilities. And don't be afraid to adjust your approach as needed. Risk is a moving target and you need to be flexible. Section 8. Never done, always improving. Risk is a journey, not a destination. Remember, implementing risk-based thinking isn't a one-time project. It's an ongoing process. Just like your skills as a plumber or electrician, it requires continuous learning and improvement. Regularly review your processes. Assess the effectiveness of your risk management strategies, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. There are plenty of resources available to guide you on your risk-based journey. Section 9. Keep on learning. Resources to fuel your risk-based journey. Speaking of resources, there's a whole world of information out there to help you master risk-based thinking. Don't be afraid to reach out to industry experts or consultants for support. And most importantly, keep those conversations going with your team. The more you talk about risk, the better equipped you'll be to manage it.